Let's talk about bad breath. Now, the person with bad breath is usually the last one to know they have this problem. How do we know? Because they're usually talking really close to your face and they don't realize they have bad breath. I have some very interesting information that you probably haven't heard before that's very, very important, especially relating to breath. You see, just like my other videos, if you want to know the truth about health, just find out what everyone is recommending and do the opposite, or find out what they're not telling you to do and do that. And this definitely applies to bad breath. So before I get to this point, let me first. Bad breath causes and cures #1. Foods that can cause bad breath include garlic and onions. Both of these foods are loaded with sulfur compounds, so eating anything with sulfur is definitely going to give you a certain smell. So if your spouse or partner eats anything with garlic or onions, unless you're eating garlic and onion stuff, it's going to be very offensive. And then you have cheese. There are all sorts of smelly cheeses. For example, Limburger cheese or blue cheese, which has mold. All of this is going to contribute to really offensive breath. But when you ask someone, like when I ask my dad, "Why do you eat Limburger cheese? It smells so bad." Apparently it doesn't taste bad, it just smells bad. So I want to talk about some easy things first that you can do to get rid of your bad breath if you've eaten foods with garlic, onions, cheese, etc. One thing that works really well to get rid of bad breath is green tea. You can use it as a mouthwash. You can drink it. It seems to counteract the sulfur compounds in certain foods. Now, the other thing that's really good is organic parsley and peppermint or spearmint. And then, when you have garlic or onions, just grab some out of your refrigerator and chew on it. It completely neutralizes that bad taste and smell that you're going to get from the food. Bad breath causes and cures #2. Coffee and coffee breath can be quite offensive. Now, the reason for this is the sulfur compounds in coffee beans, plus certain acids found in coffee beans, including tannins, which can really dry out your mouth and affect the microbiome in your mouth. So, definitely with coffee breath, you want to brush your teeth with some really good toothpaste that has clove in it and no fluoride. But chewing on parsley and peppermint is also a really good thing. Okay, I already mentioned a little bit. Bad breath causes and cures. Number 3. This is about alcohol, but it's not just alcohol mouthwash. This is also the alcohol in alcoholic beverages. So, if you drink alcohol occasionally, just make sure you don't consume more than a 6-pack in one night, and you're going to want to take a natural probiotic. And I'm mainly talking about fermented vegetables and sauerkraut, kimchi, things like that, to re-establish those microbes. Okay, the next point I want to. Bad breath causes and cures number 4. I want to bring up, and this is probably the number 1 culprit of this breath, is going to be sugar. Sugar feeds the unfriendly microbes. It feeds yeast, which is a type of candida, and so this is its main fuel. If you want to starve these unfriendly microbes, it's very simple, just avoid sugar. It's called a ketogenic diet. Then these microbes release foul gas, and they create bad breath. They also create acids that can eat holes in your bones, and I'm talking about your teeth, as in cavities. And the average teenager is consuming at least 18 teaspoons of sugar, and this is just added. This is not part of the regular carbohydrates they're consuming, so you can imagine how many bad bacteria are being created. Now, the next point I want to bring up, bad breath, causes and cures number 5. It's the fact that your mouth is part of this whole system called the digestive system. So when you focus on one little part of this whole system and ignore the other parts, you're never going to fix bad breath. A lot of people have bad breath because of a lower digestive problem, either in the stomach, small intestine, or large intestine. So this is why if you have weak stomach acid, or you don't have enough acidity in your stomach, you're not going to get proper digestion, and this alone can create gas that can come up for your breath. And it's just from having incomplete digestion. So this is why apple cider vinegar on a regular basis. This is why taking betaine hydrochloride after meals, which is a natural acid, is really good for bad breath. And plus, it prevents SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Normally, bacteria should be in the large intestine, not so much in the small intestine. I mean, there's a little bit in there, but there shouldn't be a lot. When you get too much bacteria, and I'm even talking about good bacteria in the wrong place, you're going to get SIBO. And what happens is these microbes compete for your nutrients, and they also create a lot of gas, and they create bad breath from the overgrowth of unfriendly microbes. And this definitely can create not only bloating, but it can create some bad breath as well. Now, the thing you need to know about this is if you consume probiotics and fiber, okay, and salads, and you feel worse, you're bloated, it could mean that you have SIBO. In which case, you want to stop eating those things and become a carnivore for a while, because to kill off those microbes, you don't want to feed them delicious food, and you want to take things like betaine hydrochloride, and you want to do some fasting to allow the digestive system to reset. And you want to take a natural antibiotic like oregano. So the reason I'm bringing this up